بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا وهدى وتقا ورشادا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا التأويل. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع ومن قلب لا يخشع ومن نفس لا تشبع ومن دعوة لا تسمع. نعوذ بك اللهم من هؤلاء الأربع. أما بعد، فحياكم الله جميعا. لحظة. لحظة. حياكم الله جميعا مرة أخرى في الدرس الثاني والأربعين في شرح الصرف الميسر المؤلف للشيخ عبد الشكور معلم عبد الفارح حفظه الله. وقد كنا وصلنا وانتهينا إلى مبحث اسم الآلة في الدرس الماضي، واليوم إن شاء الله سنشرع في التدارس فيها أو في هذا المبحث. وقبل ذلك كنا يعني أخذنا تداريب متعلقة ب المشتقات الأخرى كاسم المصدر واسم المكان واسم الزمان، والمصدر الميمي والمصدر الصناعي واسم الكثرة وغير ذلك. و يعني من المطلوب منكم, what is required of you and which is very important, is that you have the list of the mushtaqat in your mind at all times. At all times, you should have the list of the mushtaqat in your mind at your fingertips at all times. So if you're asked, like, what are the mushtaqat of the fi'l, you should have it in your mind. مثلا يقال لك يعني if we say that the asl is the masdar, then you should say, okay, the mushtaqat will be the fi'l amr, fi'l madi, fi'l mudari', ism al-fa'il, ism al-maf'ul, صفة مشبهة، صيغة مبالغة، أفعال التفضيل، اسم الزمان، اسم المكان، المصدر الميمي، اسم الآلة، اسم الكثرة، المصدر الصناعي. All of these different mushtaqat, you should have the list of them in your mind at all times. As a student of Sarf, as a student of Tafsir, it is extremely important to have these mushtaqat in your mind at all times. Why? So that you can at least, if you have the list in your mind, then you have the qaida. The qawaid, you have been through them. You have studied a good chunk of the qawaid that are related to these mushtaqat. But what the problem that one faces as a student of Sarf is at times that he forgets the list of the mushtaqat, and then he is unable to recognize the word that he encounters. So if he knows these, if he remembers these different mushtaqat, he will be able to at least and try and attempt recognizing or determining what kind of a mushtaq is the word that he encounters in the Quran or in the Hadith, for that sake. Now, so you study the qawaid, but just don't suffice with studying the qawaid. There should be special focus on memorizing the list of mushtaqat. So when you memorize the list of mushtaqat along with the qawaid that are related to it and the different dawabit, then inshallah this will be a very good recipe for a successful صرف student. يقول المصنف حفظه الله اسم الآلة. اسم الآلة. طبعا, as the name suggests, اسم الآلة will be the noun that refers to the tool for something, the tool for something. طيب, إذا قال تعريفه اسم مصوغ. اسم مصوغ. المصوغ, as we know, is the اسم المفعول from صاغ يصوغ, which means it is a noun that is derived. اسم مصوغ, or that is formed from صياغ صاغ يصوغ, that is formed من الفعل الثلاثي المتعدي. It is formed from فعل ثلاثي that is متعدي. So this is important, that اسم الآلة generally is from the فعل متعدي للدلالة على آلة الفعل, to indicate, to suggest, to allude to the tool of the فعل, the very tool with which the فعل is carried out. نعم. قال مثل قطع النجار الخشب. قطع النجار, the carpenter, he cut the wood. الخشب بالمنشار. What is a منشار?
Wooden saw.
so generally so يعني whether it's made of whichever يعني material is made of, a saw is called منشار. طيب إذا يعني اكتبوا if يعني because here you will encounter some words that you might not be familiar with, so you can write down the meanings. قال أقسامه وأوزانه. أقسامه وأوزانه. لحظة. قال ينقسم اسم الآلة إلى مشتق وجامد. إلى مشتق وجامد. ممتاز. Now this is interesting, right? That is why you can perhaps يعني realize that why the مصنف has made يعني اسم الآلة he's put it after the other مشتقات like اسم المكان, اسم الزمان, المصدر, الميم, because amongst يعني the اسم الآلة is a type that is also جامد. قال والمشتق قسمان قياسي وسماعي. طبعا قياسي means that particular أوزان upon which the اسم الآلة would fall, and سماعي يعني any أوزان that go against those regular patterns of اسم الآلة. أما أوزان المشتق القياسية فهي أو أوزان المشتق القياسية أوزان المشتق القياسية هي وذكر في الهامش قرر مجمع اللغة العربية في القاهرة قياسية وزن فعالة نحو طيارة سيارة وفاعول نحو حاسوب. He says that the Council of the Arabic Language in Cairo in Egypt because they take new decisions. The scholars of the Arabic language, they gather under the umbrella of this majma' and they decide on matters that are relatively new to the language, and then they add to the qawa'id of the language. So they have decided, or they have you can say come to the conclusion that in our times, because fa'ala, and this is from the evolution of the language, that fa'ala and fa'ul will be also considered as ism al-ala. Fa'ala and fa'ul will also be considered as ism al-ala. Why? Because of the abundant usage of fa'ala and fa'ul for alat of our times. So for example, you will find ثلاجة, طيارة, سيارة, غسالة. In our times, most of the alat that are new, that have been invented after the classical or you can say in contemporary times, or that have been invented over the last couple of centuries, you will find that mostly they are on the wazn of fa'ala, and that is why fa'ala is now considered from the ism al-ala. That is why even when we were studying Sarf with our Sheikh, he said that you can say that fa'ala is more like, instead of saying ism al-ala, ism al-makina. Anything that is a machine in our times, it usually it falls on the wazn of fa'ala. ثلاجة, كذلك we have شماعة, كذلك, and شماعة is something on which you like hang the clothes, and then you have سيارة, طيارة, as you mentioned, غسالة, washing machine, برادة, water cooler, right? برادة from buruda, from barada, from buruda, which is coolness or coldness. So we have barada. So generally you will find that a lot of the machines in our times are on the wazn of fa'ala. So it is correct, and this is from you can say acceptable evolution of the Arabic language. However, then classically the qiyas of ism al-ala has been these three awzan, which are mif'al, mif'al, and mif'ala. Mif'al, mif'al, and mif'ala. So for example, we have here mif'al. the first أوزان is مفعل. قال نحو مبرد ومخيط. طيب مبرد and مخيط. What is the meaning of مبرد? What is the meaning of مبرد? مبرد بارك الله فيكم يعني refers to some kind of يعني a thing that is used to sharpen, يعني sharpener. So generally this is what the meaning of مبرد is, يعني to يعني sharpen it or to file it. Anvil, not sure what exactly anvil is, but mibra is like a sort of a filer, you can say, to sharpen things or to make them smooth. So anvil, I guess if that is what it is in English, then perhaps yes, maybe. Allahu Akbar. Because I'm not exactly sure what anvil is, but you can just double check and let us know as well. What is mikhyat? Mikhyat. Needle, ahsant. The آلة for خياطة. The tool for خياطة, tool for يعني stitching, that is مخيط for خياطة. Okay, so here we can say that لحظة. لحظة واحدة بس. Right, needle. And the word for mibrad, if you can, I can just check what exactly is the tool called in English. We can inshallah then write down its meaning as well. Usually it's like a filer or something. You can say it's the filer, but I'm not sure if filer is the right word for the tool that is used to smoothen things. Anyways, ثم نأتي الآن we also, it's called file. Okay, it's called file itself. هكذا هاي مصطفى. طيب إذا نكتب ثم يعني نراجع مرة أخرى in English what exactly is a يعني is it really called file or not? No. المهم we can also add here an example of مصعد. So what will be a مصعد? Elevator. أحسنت. Elevator. That's the tool for صعود. The tool for صعود. So it will be مصعد. طيب. Also, what you can add here, any other examples that you have in mind for مفعل? مصعد for الصعود. صعد أو صعد يصعد. صعد يصعد. مصعد. The tool for صعود. طيب, any other examples that you have in mind for مفعل يا إخوان? طيب, لا بس. طيب نأتي الآن إلى مفعال. طيب, in مفعال we have a lot of يعني common used examples. One of them is miftah. طبعا what is miftah, إخوان? The tool for opening something, and that is called in English what? The tool for opening the door or anything for that sake, any opening a lock generally, and it is in English called a key, of course, right? So miftah refers to a key. Minshar, we mentioned previously what minshar is, and that is a saw, right? So we have miftah, we have minshar. But in mif'al, we can also use, for example, our times we have, you will tell me what the meaning of this is, figure it out. Miqwad. What is this about? Miqwad. What does this do? Miqwad. Qaf, waw, dal. What is qaf, waw, dal about? A rope for pulling, or also you can use in our times miqwad for the qiyada of sayyara, right? So the steering wheel is at times, in our times, called miqwad. Steering wheel in our times is called miqwad, right? طيب. Also a famous one in mif'al, you can add, very often it's used, miqas. What is miqas?
Scissor.
Scissor. أحسنتم. So you can say miqwad is the driving wheel in our wheel, not necessarily, but this is the driving tool generally, but in its usage is for the driving wheel, because that steering wheel is the tool for driving, and miqas is the scissor. Right. Also, you can use inshallah for mif'al, misbah. Very good example. Misbah. What's the meaning of misbah? The tool for lighting from subh. And for lighting, the tool for lighting is called a lamp. So misbah is a lamp. Also, we have for the, one of the commonly used in our times for mif'al is milaf. Does anyone know what's milaf? Milaf file, ahsantum. It's the word used for file. And not the file that is the mibrad, which is the filer or some that files that sharpens or smoothens the surface, rather the file that is in which you carry the papers, because the papers are folded or rolled into it. So milaf, in which laf takes place, and laffa yalufu means to fold or roll something. So milaf. And also we have from the olden times as well, mijan. What is mijan? What is mijan, ya ikhwan? This is mentioned in the hadith as well. I'm not sure if it's there in the Quran. Shield, أحسنتم. The shield. بارك الله فيك. طيب. لحظة. ثم in مفعال also we mentioned misbah. Okay, what else can we mention in misbah other than misbah? Minshar, miftah. What is the tool for weighing things called? What is the scale called on which we weigh things?
Mizan.
Mizan, أحسنتم. Mizan. Also, very good example of miqbad here. Miqbad. that was mentioned by one of the sister. Miqbad. Miqbad is the handle of something, right? Miqbad, and from which you hold something. So miqbad is also a good example of mif'al. And here we have mizan or scale. What is the tool for measuring the volume of something? The kayl of something. ولا تنقص
Mikal.
مكيال أحسنتم مكيال أحسنتم مكيال الميزان. Also for example there is a word we use for criterion in Arabic. What's the word used for criterion in Arabic? Yani something with which you measure the criteria of other things. And also it's the word sometimes used for the carats of gold. معيار criterion, etc. And a good example that is mithqal. Mithqal is also from the weight. ممتاز. طيب إن شاء الله يكفي for مفعال. If we want to add something else, okay, مثلا عندكم المفعال أيضا ممكن تذكرون. مثقال is something with which you would weigh the thiqal of something, right? The weight of it, heaviness of it. Here also we have something that is called minfakh. What is minfakh? You can figure this out from the asl of the kalim. Minfakh, something that is used for, a tool that is used for. لا, it's not minfakh. Minfakh, the blower, mumtaz, the blower, the bellows. If you see, like when they are purifying the metal from the impurities, they have that blower to blow the air with, right? So that is minfakh. Okay, mumtaz. Also we have مثلا, this is famous, mismar. What is mismar?
Nail.
أحسنتم بارك الله فيكم. Mismar refers to the nails or nail that is pegged into the ground or the wall. طيب يكفي إن شاء الله. نأتي الآن إلى مفعلة. مفعلة also we have a lot of examples. First we have from the Musannif himself. He says نحو مكنسة. What is مكنسة? What does مكنسة refer to? مفعلة. نعم, broom, something that is used to clean up and yes, wipe something. So the broom. ممتاز. مسبحة. This is referring to the tool that we use for tasbih. No, the rosary beads. See, beads. ممتاز. مسبحة. All right, we have also famous, very often used, ملعقة. What is ملعقة?
Is it a spoon?
Yes, spoon. Very good. ملعقة, spoon. We have أيضا another famous one or commonly used, ملحفة. What would be the ملحفة? ما يلتحف به, something that you use as a lihaf, or that you cover yourself with, not exactly cover, like warm
This
yourself.
cover.
Blanket, simple blanket cover, very good. طيب ثم أيضا عندنا very famous as well and not commonly used, مطرقة, that is used for طرق. مطرقة. This one is famous. مطرقة refers to hammer. أحسنتم. In case يعني you don't know a particular يعني word, what it means or what's its as translation in English, you have a number of dictionaries you can take help from. مثلا, and if you want to search into a dictionary, from its asl, we told you of the handswear dictionary, right? Handswear is one option that you can refer to, and you can find it in an app. Also, if you are in مثلا a bit of a rush, for example, or you want contemporary meanings, you can use, for example, the website or the app by Al-Ma'ani, almaani.com. That will help you find the English words quickly, but sometimes it's inaccurate. At times it's inaccurate, but at least it gives you the result in a short span of time. Also, you can use for this, and if you want a word being used in a sentence, and then you want the sentence translated, then we have this website, and it has an app as well called Reversal Context. Reversal Context. And it gives you, if you put like an Arabic word in it, it will give you the Arabic word used in a sentence, and it will be easier for you to then understand how exactly that word is used. But again, this website also at times gives you results that are, yes, reversal context. Sometimes the translations are not very accurate. Perhaps they're automatically generated, but many times you benefit from it. So if you set it up for Arabic to English or English to Arabic, and it will be easier, and it will be very, you can say, beneficial for you. طيب, we had ملعقة, ملحفة, مطرقة. Now let's mention another commonly used one, منشفة. منشفة. What is نشفة, ينشف? What does it refer to? The towel. أحسنتم. منشفة. And there is another word for towel that is used these days for tissue papers. That is similar. It's not مفعلة, it's not مفعل, it's on the wazn of مفعيل. منديل. أحسنتم. منديل. So I have a point here to make, and that is why I'm mentioning this منديل here. مفعيل is also used for منطيق. Perhaps we mentioned it from the أوزان of صيغة المبالغة as well. But there is a point that I want to make at the end of this topic, and that is that's the reason I mentioned Mindil here. طيب. Also, we have okay. Yes, what is this? The tool for making a satr. And satr is a line. The tool for making a satr, a straight line. Mistara. So what is this in English? What tool do you use to draw a line?
Scale.
The scale and the ruler. The ruler. طيب, ثم عندنا مثلا a tool that is used for Yes, for okay. I'm not exactly sure what's the asal of this, but it's very often used. What does this refer to? Mirwaha. Asal is ra, waw, ha, but how is it used in this tense? Allahu A'lam.
Fan.
The fan, accentum. Mirwaha. Also, we have some words which are mu'tal al-lam. And mu'tal al-lam, very often the ism al-ala of the mu'tal al-lam is used is usually comes upon this was, that is mif'ala. And for example, we have misfat. We have misfah. What is the meaning of misfat? It's from sad, fa, and yeah. Sad, fa, and yeah. Misfat is the word used for the strainer or the filter, something that filters and strains. So a filter or a strainer is misfat. Misfat. So it's actually misfaya, but because the ya had it was متحرك, and the letter before it had a فتحة, انقلبت فقلبت ألفا. كذلك عندنا مثلا what's the word used for the eraser? What's the word used for eraser? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول في القرآن يمحو الله ما يشاء ويثبت. يمحو. What will be the ism al-ala that you will derive from maha yamhu? Maha yamhu. مفعلة from maha yamhu. مفعلة from maha yamhu. How will it be? Mim maha yamhu, and you have to form from it mif'ala, so it will be something like this. Mim, and the ayn of the word is ha, and then we have a waw. Mim hawa. Then this waw has a fatha on it, and it's a mutharrik, and it is preceded by another letter having a fatha on it, so it will become alif. So we'll have mimhat. Mimhat. So mimhat is the eraser. Mimhat is the word used to refer to the eraser. كذلك يا إخوان عندنا كلمة this one you will tell us what it means. Mirqat. Mirqat is that which is used for ruqi. Ruqi means to ascend, to climb, to go above. Yarqa. Raqiya yarqa, to climb, to ascend, to go stairs. أحسنتم. Yes. طيب كذلك مما قد يقال. Okay, what's the word used for the iron that we use to iron the clothes? مكوات. أحسنت. مكوات. مكواه. نكتب هكذا مكواه. أحسنتم. Which is used for ironing. طيب هذا إن شاء الله هذه الأمثلة ستكفي بإذن الله تعالى. Here a lot of these are at times used on the wazn of fa'ala, in our times especially. For example, misfat in our times will be called safaya at times, or مثلا a sharpener for a pencil sharpener is called mibrat, مبرات. It's called barraya مثلا for in the slang, or you can say in the contemporary Arabic. كذلك مثلا يعني at times يعني مثلا the tool for يعني the straw is used to suck the liquid, right? Straws. So we call them massas. So fa'al is being used very often for ism al-ala in our times. In our times, fa'al or fa'ala has been used very often for ism al-ala in our times. And here, perhaps we can, مثلا, you can write here, just add more examples to fa'ala, right? مثلا ثلاجة and غسالة. كذلك maybe you can add دبابة, which refers to a kind of truck in our times. حفارة, which is used for digging. Yes. حفارة. كذلك غواصة. What's غواصة, إخوان? That dives, غوص, dives into the sea. What's this machine that is called, that dives into the sea that is underwater? submarine. أحسنتم. Also فاعول in our times, or generally فاعول, and there is ساطور. حاسوب, طبعا حاسوب is referring to the الحاسب الآلي, that the computer is referring to the computer. We have ساطور. What is a ساطور? What is a ساطور? حاسوب, computer. ساطور, I think in English it can be called a cleaver of sorts.
Balance.
Cleaver, يعني something that is used to cut, like the sort of tool that with which they cut the لحم, the meat. نعم, this is ساطور. We have other example of it as a small hammer. مثلا it can be called شاكوس. المطرقة الصغيرة. لحظة, مصطفى يقول projector. طيب. دراجة, yes, very good. That can be used for فعالة. دراجة, which refers to the bicycle. طيب. We have also بارك الله فيكم for فاعول. مثلا الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول in the Quran فإذا نقر في الناقور. What is ناقور referring to? سورة المدثر. فإذا نقر في الناقور. What is this ناقور? فإذا نقر في الناقور فذلك يومئذ يوم عسير على الكافرين غير يسير. فإذا نقر في الناقور. ناقور refers to the trumpet. واضح يا إخوان؟ أيضا ممكن طيب يعني هذه بعض you can say some of the أسماء الآلة. Also some of them صرفيين, they have mentioned فعال as اسم الآلة as well. فعال, and if you want you can add to it يعني here for example number 4 you can add فعال, and this is يعني often used. You have for example حزام, which is the belt, right? You have lijam, which are the reins of the horse or your whatever you're riding. كذلك عندكم سواك. And by the way, lijam and zimam and inan, they're all the same. Lijam, zimam, and inan, they are all the same. So we have siwak, which is the miswak. Miswak can also be used here in mif'al. You can add here miswak. كذلك عندنا في فعال نطاق. Why was Asma bint Abi Bakr called ذات النطاقين? What is this nitaq referring to? ذات النطاقين. What is the nitaq referring to? يعني she يعني nitaq is the waist belt that or the waist whatever is that is tied around the waist. So this is called nitaq. And she يعني cut it into two I think يعني pack the food or whatever يعني the zad of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم Abu Bakr at the time of Hijrah, she was called ذات النطاقين. كذلك عندنا إزار and رداء, very يعني well known إزار رداء. كذلك غطاء, which is a cover, of course. وهكذا ستار سوار يكفي إن شاء الله. ففعال أيضا can be considered cover. طيب ثم قال أما السماعي فهو ما شذ عن الأوزان السابقة. As for the سماعي أوزان, they are the ones that are يعني that have stood out or they don't occur or don't fall on the same أوزان as the قياسي ones. شذ عن الأوزان السابقة وذكر له ابن مالك 6 أمثلة. Ibn Malik mentions 6 examples for them. هي المدق للآلة التي يدق بها. للآلة التي يدق بها. So what is this آلة? What is the meaning of دق يدق? دق يدق. Yes, to make it into a kind of a powder, to crush it and make it into powder form, grind. Very good. So that's why the flour is called daqiq, right? Because it's fa'il بمعنى مفعول, something that is madquf, something that has been grinded into powder form. So the ala, the qiyas was that it should have been called midaq with a kasra, but it's called muduq, right? Or نعم, or نعم. This is on the wazn of muf'ul, muduf, or you can say نعم, because it was supposed to be mudquq, and later it ended up being muduq because of the tad'if that happened with daqa. So all of these 6 examples are on the wazn of muf'ul. So instead of saying midaq, we said muduq للآلة التي يدق بها. ثم أيضا قال المسعط. What is مسعط? للآلة التي يوضع فيها دواء الأنف. يعني the tool with which you يعني put the medicine inside your nose. So those يعني tools with which those you can say not exactly tools, يعني instruments or whatever يعني you use to put the medicine inside the nose, that is مسعط. And مكحل كذلك للآلة التي يجعل فيها الكحل. طبعا مسعط is saying that it refers to the thing in which the dawa is put, the dawa of the nose is put. Likewise, mukhul or mukhula refers to the container in which the kuhl is put. Kuhl that you apply on the eyes, right? That's called mukhul. كذلك المدهن للآلة التي يجعل فيها الدهن, for the container in which يعني the duhn or the oil is put. كذلك منضل أو منصل, sorry. كذلك المنصل قال من أسماء السيف, from the names of sword. And you know that what's nasl? Nasl is well known. So what is nasl? nasl طبعا is not the safe, it's not the sword. So what does nasl refer to? And in what part of the arrow is the nasl? What part of the arrow is the nasl? The head of the arrow. Simple. And finally it says يعني المنخل الآلة التي ينخل بها الدقيق. What is the نخل of دقيق? What is this process referring to? It refers to the you can say the filtering or the garbling or the sieving, so you can say sifting of the flour or the wheat, any sort of a filtering. So الآلة التي ينخل بها الدقيق it's called منخل. طيب فهذه الأوزان السماعية التي شذت. طيب one of the reasons one can mention that يعني these are being there is shudub here is the fact that طبعا يعني one of the reasons why these are being سماعي which we can mention is similar to what we mentioned with regards to, if you remember, اسم الزمان المكان, when we had some of the أسماء الزمان المكان المفعولة. So that is because this isn't exactly يعني in case of مسعط and مكحل and مدهن, these aren't exactly the tools themselves, rather they are the containers in which the يعني the كحل and the dawa of the nose, or the duhn, which is the oil that is in which it is stored and put. So that's one reason why they have strayed away from the qiyas, قياس. مسعود يعني السعط يعني إدخال الشيء في الأنف, يعني it refers to applying something inside the nose. But يعني so the ala itself with which you would do that can be called mis'ab, but the container will be called mus'ud. So this is one thing that they have, يعني one you can say aspect that they at times mention. كذلك هنا the last point that I wanted to make here is that you will find some kind of a common ground between اسم الآلة and صيغة المبالغة. صيغة المبالغة and اسم الآلة, there is similarities between the two, especially in some of the أوزان, مثلا مفعال for example and مفعيل. In صيغة المبالغة you will find أوزان that are يعني common with the اسم الآلة. What is the common ground between them? What's common between them? Because the آلة يعني it performs that فعل in abundance, with كثرة. Remember that صيغة المبالغة it suggests that the person who is being described with the صيغة المبالغة performs or carries out this فعل very often, or he carries it out in an intense or a يعني emphatic form. So very often, this is the common يعني aspect between اسم الآلة and صيغة المبالغة. And that is why you will find here فعال and فعالة being used often for اسم الآلة. Likewise, مفعال used often for اسم الآلة. For example, in Surah Al-Fajr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إن ربك لبالمرصاد. إن ربك لبالمرصاد. What is the meaning of مرصاد? It's from rasd, and rasd means to observe or يعني in pursuit, mumtaz, or يعني wait for something, lurk for it in ambush. So يعني mirsad here it was used as صيغة المبالغة, and its wazn is يعني yes مفعال is صيغة المبالغة as well as اسم الآلة. See, so we have this common ground between اسم الآلة and صيغة المبالغة. That's why they have similar يعني أوزان, because the اسم الآلة يعني the فعل it performs it يعني in abundance. نعم. ثم قال وتزاد عليها المحرضة. The مصنف يعني adds to the أوزان or the examples that are mentioned by Ibn Malik. قال للآلة التي يجعل فيها الحرض وهو الأشنان. What are the أشنان إخواني? This is a very old thing. أشنان. And these were used in the time of the Prophet ﷺ as well. الأشنان أو الأشنان. I think it's mentioned in the hadith as well. They used to hang it in the house. I think it was the hadith of Ibn Abbas when he went to spend the night with the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet's house, because his Khala Maymuna was the wife of the Prophet, and he woke up and he mentions how the Prophet ﷺ, when he performed wudu, there was this mention of ashnan, I remember. I hope I'm not forgetting this. طيب قال إذا أراد أن يحرم غسل رأسه بخطمي وأشنان. نعم. This is one hadith, but in the hadith of Ibn Abbas, I remember. SubhanAllah, it was mentioned. Anyways, so what is Ushnan referring to here? It's a kind of a, you can say, not exactly, not a water container. I think it's a kind of a herb or plant, nabat, that is used for cleansing. Allahu Alam. It is used for cleansing in those times. So Allahu Alam, that's what it refers to. Ushnan. هذا إذا قصد بهذه الأمثلة أسماء الآلات. أما إذا قصد العمل بها والاشتقاق فيجوز مجيئها على القياس المفعل. نحو دققت بالمدق ونخلت بالمنخل وهكذا. So he says that if إذا قصد بهذه أمثلة أسماء الآلات, these أوزان will be followed. But at the very time, when you are using it, at the time of application, you can use it according to the qiyas. And this is, for example, as we mentioned, for mukhula, the container is called mukhula, but the very thing with which you will be applying the kuhul, you can call it mikhal. That's fine. كذلك المدق, generally the آلة will be called muduq, but the very thing that with which you are at that time using to grind something, or مثلا generally you want to refer to its trait of being a tool and آلة, you can use مدق according to the قياس. قال والجامد ويأتي على أوزان كثيرة لا ضابط لها ولا حصر نحو الفأس والقدوم والسكين ونحو ذلك. What is الفأس? What is الفأس? الفأس is the axe. والقدوم Qadum has been mentioned in the hadith of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he performed his own circumcision with Qadum. That's also a kind of an axe, yes. And he performed his, subhanAllah, this is from the Sunan of Fitra. So he did his circumcision with the Qadum. It's mentioned in the hadith. كذلك عندك السكين. طبعا سكين is فعيل, refers to the knife. And we have also, for example, قلم مثلا. It's also from the jamid. قلم, نصل, سيف, رمح. All of these are jamid. So you can write them as well. قلم, سيف, نصل, رمح, which is the spear. All of these are آلات, and these are أسماء جامدة للآلات. طيب إن شاء الله من التدريبات سنأخذها بإذن الله تعالى في الدرس القادم بإذن الله. نقف هنا، نكتفي بهذا القدر، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.